Fever dub! Woo! Woo! Fever! Good dub. Ugly, but we found a way to win.
Airs a chilling revenge stat after being outmuscled and outrebounded in a close loss to the Atlanta Dream on May 20th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever came back with a vengeance just 2 days later. In their May 22nd rematch, the Fever dominated the paint, outscoring the Dream 46-20 and holding Brittney Griner to just 5 points before she fouled out. Talk about flipping the script. Indiana wasn't just back, they made a statement.
Hey, Steph. This question is for you. I just wanted to talk about what you saw out of your team that was different from Tuesday. Obviously, it's a quick turn, but how did you feel like your adjustments paid off on the court?
I felt like our defensive energy, physicality, disruptiveness was better. We made it more difficult for them, moving the ball around the perimeter. We executed better in our ball screen defense. Felt like we had each other's back a little bit more.
The same Indiana Fever team that narrowly lost at home turned around and came to Atlanta with something to prove, and they dominated in the most satisfying way possible. This quick turnaround showed just how resilient and playoff-ready this squad truly is. Caitlin Clark led the charge with poise, proving she can command a team full of all-stars and weapons on any given night. And don't go anywhere. We're breaking down the fiery scuffle between Clark and an Atlanta Dream player, including the shocking words exchanged on the court. What does this win reveal about Clark's leadership and grit? Comment fired up for the Fever below if you're proud of this epic bounce-back victory. Let's go.
One thing this Indiana Fever team has shown us they will do this year is not quit on the game. The Indiana Fever down early, come back, take the lead. Down late, come back, take the lead. The only difference between tonight's outcome and Tuesday's outcome is
Picture this. Just 2 days before their revenge game, the Fever walked off their home court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse feeling crushed. That 91-90 loss to Atlanta wasn't just another close game. It was the kind of gut-punch defeat that exposes every flaw, every weakness, and leaves a team questioning who they really are.
Yes, this stinks. We want to win this game. But, I think this is great for our team. A little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. We have a chance to go there and play them, actually. So it's even better, I guess. We can, get a little redemption if we go down there.
This wasn't just another regular season loss. It was an exposed blueprint of everything the Fever had been trying to mask. Atlanta came into Gainbridge Fieldhouse and dominated in ways that simply shouldn't happen on a team's home court. The Dream outmuscled Indiana in the paint and controlled the boards with ease. Brittney Griner, towering over Indiana's smaller lineup, did exactly what was expected, dropping 21 points with little resistance. Ryan Howard added another 20, slicing through the Fever's defense from every angle. The disparity at the free throw line told the rest of the story. Atlanta hit 25 of 32, while Indiana struggled at 16 of 26, missing several crucial shots down the stretch. It wasn't just a loss, it was a loud wake-up call.
Shot 32 free throws. It's a lot of free throws. Going to be difficult to win a lot of games when we foul people that much and put them at the line that much. It's tough. They made 25 out of 32. We still went to the line 26 times, missed 10. So that's the game really right there. It obviously doesn't come down to that, but...
Here's what most people overlooked about that loss. It wasn't just defeat. It was reconnaissance. The Fever weren't just losing. They were learning. Coach Stephanie White admitted, "I don't feel like we match up well with them," noting the Dream's Olympians, perimeter talent, size, and experience. But even in that moment, White and her staff were quietly scheming, already laying the groundwork for a very different outcome.
Today, we couldn't seal the deal. We lost it at the free throw line. Tonight, we sealed the deal. Tonight, we took the lead late in the fourth after being down 75-71 with 3 minutes left. We take the lead and we don't look back. The Indiana Fever leave the ATL with an 81-76 victory, and this game was pretty. Man, this game was pretty.
The players left that locker room with a different kind of energy, focused, fueled, and ready. Those 48 hours between games changed everything. That crushing home loss lit a fire under the Fever, transforming frustration into motivation. This wasn't just about bouncing back. It was about making a statement. The question was never if the Fever would respond, but how hard they would make Atlanta pay for the embarrassment.
What a win for the Indiana Fever against the Atlanta Dream. Good teams win ugly. And that was what was most impressive to me about the Fever's performance against the...
Here's something that might terrified Fever fans just months ago. Caitlin Clark went 0 for 5 from beyond the arc and shot just 4 of 11 from the field. Her 11-point outing was far below her usual standards and marked the first time since January 13, 2022, that she didn't hit a single three-pointer in a game. In fact, it was the first time since her sophomore year at Iowa that she was completely shut out from deep.
But getting in foul trouble early, I think, messed up her rhythm, and she didn't really have her legs, because it certainly was one of the worst performances of Clark's career from a production standpoint offensively. First time in her career she didn't hit a three. So nothing to write home about from Cece. But that's okay, right? Even when, that's happening, game's on the line, she's got the basketball. She's got the basketball, manipulates the defense, gets it to AB, who puts...
On most teams, when your superstar struggles like this on the road, a blowout loss usually follows. Caitlin Clark picked up 5 personal fouls, limiting her impact on both ends and forcing her to the bench during key moments. Any team that leans too heavily on one player would crumble under that pressure, but the Fever proved they're built to win as a unit.
Shout out to Natasha Howard, I will say. You didn't have a good game last game. You bounced back today. If I'm the Atlanta Dream coach, I'm going into tonight with a game plan. Folks, make Natasha Howard beat us. Don't let Caitlin Clark beat us. Don't let Kelsey Mitchell beat us. Don't let Aaliyah Boston beat us. Make Natasha Howard beat us. And Natasha Howard, she took on that challenge and she came through. Let's just think back a year ago. Who's that going to be? Katie Lou? Nope. Erica Wheeler? Nope. Nalissa Smith, you make me laugh.
The 2025 Fever proved they've evolved into something far beyond expectations. Natasha Howard rose to the occasion, delivering a dominant performance with a game-high 26 points on an impressive 12 of 17 shooting night, leading the charge with confidence.
At least go out and get somebody like Natasha Howard that when Caitlin Clark, Kelsey, and AB aren't hitting, when Caitlin Clark, Kelsey, and AB are getting hoed with fouls, there's somebody there that's competent offensively that can keep us in the game. And Natasha Howard, you did just that. 26 points, 7 rebounds. Way to go, Natasha Howard.
This performance wiped away all memory of Howard's rough outing in the previous game against Atlanta. She took over the second half, scoring 18 points minus 13 of them in a dominant third quarter. Howard also pulled down 7 rebounds, stepping up exactly when the Fever needed a leader on the court.
Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull are the real deal. That's what it does look like. It looks like these two off the bench, you can name whoever you want. These two ladies off the bench are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA, hands down. Hands down, these two are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA off the bench. They bring the energy, they bring the heat, they're able to score, they play defense. Stephanie White, folks, we were up 3 points in the last minute. Stephanie White puts Sophie and Lexi and they say, press. In the last minute, Stephanie White says, Sophie, Lexi, press. Don't make it easy on them. Don't let them get into their offense. We got to hassle them. We got to haggle them. We got to get on them. We need to force them to make decisions before they want to. And Sophie and Lexi did just that. Those two, great job tonight.
That's toughness on display. Fighting through it. It ain't always going to go your way. And then, like I said, some of the new players, I think Natasha Howard was excellent in this game. She was excellent in this game. And there were some, connections between her and Clark. Then there was Sophie Cunningham, who was also back for the first time, who's just an excellent all-around basketball player. And you can see it here. Clark with the get-ahead to Cunningham in the finish. I mean, Cece's just such a gift.
Damaris Dantas, 17 minutes. Yeah, 1 for 5. Stephanie White, again, to her credit, Did you see what she did today with Dantas? Did you see what she did tonight with Dantas? Brittney Griner, are you in? You're in? Cool. Dantas, get in there. Brittney Griner, you're out? Cool. Dantas, get out. Brittney Griner, you're coming back in? Cool. Dantas, get back in. Griner, you're out. Dantas, you're done here.
Well, I felt like our depth came into play there. Being able to go to our bench and bring a different defensive coverage and intensity level, and that allowed us to get out in transition. I mean, we're going to be at our best when we're in transition, and I felt like in that second quarter we were able to get out a little bit.
Brittney Griner tried to post up Damaris and failed to post up Damaris. She tried to move Damaris off the block on defense. She failed to move Damaris off the block on defense. Damaris Dantas isn't only a big body, she's a strong SOB. And Brittney Griner found that out firsthand tonight.
Look, Ryan Howard was up in her grill all game. And there's the bump, there's the physical challenge there, and some words. Some words for Clark. But if you could see, Clark has some words back. And those words, if you lip read appropriately, or it seems like from the lip readers out there, were, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. With that face, and that's competing. That's good basketball. That's fine. Howard wanted the challenge. I loved it. I love them. You just can't let, people play Clark like they're bumping her at the line of scrimmage and not call a foul. You got to call those fouls. Get them in foul trouble. Overall, it was the response from the Fever that impressed me the most to come away with this win. I said the last game was an impressive loss because things didn't go right and they were almost there and they came back. And this is sort of the, same side of
It's huge. And, again, our depth and our ability to play different lineups, our ability to lift one another up if we don't have it. I mean, I thought Damaris Dantas was huge for us when AB got in foul trouble. And, it's easy to look at numbers, but what she brought in terms of her ability to move the ball, her defensive physicality was huge. Obviously what Lexi and Sophie bring for us, and even Sid, I mean, she hadn't played the whole game, and we throw her in there in some time and score situations. We have a team that we can go 11